unexplainable, strange phenomenon appearing on the side of this mesa.
The whole mesa's lit up.
The whole mesa's lit up. You see it on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The whole thing's lit up. It's like an iridescent glow. And gone.
Oh, there were shadows going across it.
What?
Yeah.
What happens is at sunrise and sunset, there is the solar rays from the cosmos itself that line up with the electromagnetic field ley lines of the Earth. And these ley lines of the Earth land on specific X points or nodes that have throughout the last known history of humankind been utilized as nodes of energy for amplification for consciousness, for ritual practices, and for basically transcending through that electromagnetic field into ancestral memories, into future predictions, basically Wi-Fi to call up the deceased loved ones and to tap into visions of the past and the future in parallel dimensions. And there are other entities that actually exist along in those frequencies and wavelengths that understand the science of how all these places work. There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. I haven't even put my camera away. There's the wedge. Look, 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 look. As soon as I start trying to put my camera away and I turn my back, I glance over my shoulder and I can see the mesa just lit up. There it is, there it is. Hello. I'm very cold. I want to come closer to you, okay? I'm going to come down there. Whew. Okay, my fingers. See? I tricked it. I pretended like I was going to put my camera away, and now look at it. It's like a big square. See? The whole front of the mesa, whoop, and now it's off. See it? It just turned off like a fluorescent bulb. On and then off. All right, I'm coming. I can't turn it off. As soon as I go to turn the camera off and turn my back, I turn around, the whole mesa's lit up. Can we get another bright fluorescent orange? Really show us that you're here. Really light up. Vivid, vivid orange. Oh, I'm so cold. Can I go warm up in my truck? I'm freezing. I don't want to miss it. Whoa! Whoa! What was that? Whoa! Did y'all see that? What the? There's a couple of cars down. There's a car down on the road there. I don't know what would have made that light. That was like a ball of light went whoom across the whole hillside there. What the heck? I'm literally just standing here holding the camera, freezing and shivering. Okay, let's go. Let's go. We're gonna get better footage down close. I'm freezing. Okay, I can see the phenomena on the side of the mesa clearly, even with my own eyes. I don't even need the night vision. But it's pretty amazing. This is what it looks like hiking around up here in the dark. It's very spooky. So I have been up here, clear up higher in the rocks before in the petroglyphs, and basically I accidentally sat on a spot that was a shaman seat, like we've seen in previous episodes, especially in this series when we went and filmed the summer solstice phenomenon. During this part of the walk back down the hillside to the parking lot to view the phenomena on the side of the mesa from the comfort of the truck and to get out of the wind noise, there was just so much wind, I decided to cut the audio again, and I'm just going to kind of tell you and recap what I was discussing. So during this part of the walk back down the hill, I just continued to discuss how I found it fascinating that even though there are cars driving down on the road, it doesn't seem apparent. You cannot see that there is any indication of lights on the mesa. And then when there is lights on the mesa, there's no cars down on the road. It doesn't seem to correspond or go together. And then I started to share and talk about some of the strange experiences that I've had where I've gone up there after dark and sat on the boulders and the rocks near the petroglyphs and kind of aligned my consciousness with the heritage and the ancestry and the indigenous culture of the canyon and tried to tap into it just like you would tune a radio. In ufology, we talk about CE5, this contact protocol, like remote viewing, where you try to use telepathy to communicate. And it's very similar to that, I guess, in a sense. And some of the experiences that I've had up in this canyon are quite interesting, but also going alone in this canyon at night can be very creepy because there has been strange dead animals found that look like they're part of an animal sacrifice farther down the river to the south of the canyon. I've had locals tell me that when they were younger and used to go rafting down that part of the river, they would find animal sacrifices basically strung up in the trees and other more in disturbing fashion displayed up in the trees and on the side of the riverbanks and things. Like there is some kind of occult witchcraft or some kind of stuff going on in the canyon as well, where there's people that are aware that this is a node on the electromagnetic field of the ley lines, and they go up to this area to try and tap into that in different ways, even if they don't know it conventionally through like maps or through any kind of direct knowledge. Anybody who gets into mysticism or meditation or remote viewing, trying to make contact with extraterrestrials or other dimensions, the possibility of tapping into different wavelengths of energy and dimension that sort of attract you, like you feel like you're on a pilgrimage and you find yourself in these places. It can happen, and not always for good. It's not necessarily people find themselves in these canyons because they're doing good things. Sometimes they're there tapping into a darkness or a negative energy that they're trying to manipulate or use for their own intentions. Some people, they try to uncover these sort of mysteries, and they realize that there's a place that seems to have real magic to it, and then they go there and they get involved in it that way in some kind of a dark means. And honestly, up this canyon and the valley, I've been a part of going to help disassemble, take apart and undo some of the witchcraft and the black magic stuff that's gone on up in the canyon and animal sacrifice things. So now we're going to talk about the dead guy that was found down here. So let's get back to the main video. A lot of times there's actually water flowing through here. This is like a creek that will flood out and become impassable. There probably is water running in the canal right here. walk you up here. We'll show you where the guy was found deceased, curled up on the ground. Whatever got him. My friend Dave is a maintenance guy who works down here. And when he was asked by the police what he thought killed the guy, he wrote in the police report that he thought it was a skinwalker. So in the official police report, it's listed that there was a death by skinwalker right here. So imagine, there's a lot of depictions of petroglyphs of this, I think. This, like agave plant or whatever that is. I'm not sure what it is, a century plant, I'm not sure. But they grow up with these large stalks, and we see depictions and petroglyphs of that all the time. But this is like a little Anasazi reenactment settlement, and there's like this grass hut here. There's the magic mesa right through the trees there. We can walk up through here. There's like a rope swing. Doesn't it look all haunted, all right? Like something out of The Conjuring. And then this is like an old longhouse made out of wood that was constructed down here, and this has been washed away and destroyed a couple of times. Hello? I'll make sure there's nobody in here hanging out first. Make sure nobody's in here sleeping for shelter. Right? But there's even mats. There's like a whole fireplace in here. Pretty cool, actually. It's kind of nice to get out of the wind. Over here is like a meditation. What do you call it? Sweat lodge. Rebuilt back in there. Pretty cool, right? So all of this is right here. Here's this pump house. There's the magic mesa, literally right ahead of us there. Straight ahead. Some bugs moving around. But he was found dead like right here in the trees somewhere. Right here by the pump house. They found him laying here. My friend Dave actually got out of his truck, and I think he was laying like right here. I'm not sure. Got out of his truck and went up and like kicked him with his boot and realized that he was dead. But he had drove his truck up here. The guy had panicked, stole the truck, drove up, crashed through that gate right up there, that cattle gate. The truck broke down here. He got out and was, maybe he was dead over here, I'm not sure. But apparently they found him dead right here by the pump house. So what we're gonna do is pull the truck up, and we'll park like basically right here where they found him, and we'll try to film the mesa up close with the night vision. But it's kind of spooky. There's the moon coming up over the mountains. We're just gonna walk around down here all by ourselves and see what we see. If there is a skinwalker or something or other, I guess. I am the bait tonight. We're down much closer, looking at the front of the mesa now. I'm in the truck. Whoa, what is that in the sky? Look at that. What is that? Is that a comet? What in the heck is that? What is that in the sky? Look at that big trail. There's the mesa. Look at that. Is that a comet? Facing directly west? I can't see it with the naked eye. Look at that thing up there. I'm going to try to put my hand down on the side of the door of the truck. Look how far that tail goes up. That's what it looks like in the sky above me. Look at the tail going all the way down. Holy smokes. And there's the mesa lighting up. Look at that. What is that big comet in the sky? And look at the square on the mesa lighting right now, flowing down from the top to the bottom. Wow. Wow, triangle, square. Look at this comet in the sky. See the waves on the mesa? Look at that. Look at this plasma light. It's right in front of me. I can see it without the camera. It's like 2 layers of color. Wow, bright, double, triple layers. A whole big square. The whole front of the mesa is like a giant doorway, triangle. Look at that. Look at the comet up in the sky. Whoa. Clearly a big wedge right on the mesa. Above it is this brilliant comet shooting over, whatever that is. Look at the mesa. Look at the mesa and the top of the ridge glowing. It's like a giant door. Look at that. This is incredible. I can't believe I'm seeing this right now. What is it? What the heck is this thing up here? That's legit like a big comet in the sky. Unreal. I don't even want to stop filming. Is there anything behind it? Is there any more? Oh, the mesa's lighting up. Hello. See that? How it glows? It's like a serpent going across the middle. It is like a longitudinal waveform, like a frequency pattern of light that looked like a big snake, like a waveform just went across the middle of the mesa. Man, this big comet in the sky or whatever that is brilliant. I can't believe that. And every time I talk about it, look at the mesa. It's like it gets excited too. Did you see that comet in the sky? Did you see how cool that is? It's beautiful. This is so exciting. I can share all of this with you. Everybody watching this at home. There's a plane flying there. Like, what the heck, man? That is seriously like a giant comet in the sky going over. It's wild. I can't tell if it's moving or what is going on. Like, I wish that my iPhone could get it. I would try to time lapse it. Right? Look at that thing going down. It's going straight west. The mesa's glowing slightly. There's a square. Like the front. Oh, I'm turned off. This is not cars, guys. There's no way it's vehicle headlights. Something else. There's some kind of energy, plasma energy is coming out of the front of this hillside. Is it exactly like what we've been talking about? Are these like convergent points? Are these X points or nodes on the electromagnetic field where it's just like a capacitor for energy? It just, this entire valley is like a giant battery, and that mesa could be just like a big crystal inside, some big quartz crystal, just piezoelectric, resonating the energy of the collective consciousness. Then we come up here with our good intentions and we get coherent with it, with our mindset. And it's like it talks to us. It's like the collective can respond. Somehow the longitudinal waveform, the plasma can present itself almost like we're at the drive-in movies or something. It can like push up against the veil or against like some kind of phenomena at the edge of the mountain here and appear in different shapes. It's fascinating. What is that in the sky up there? That is not a plane. That's not a meteor. It literally looks like a comet. Looks like a giant comet in the sky. Would love to see a bright, vivid orange wave. I'm going to calm my thoughts. What a beautiful day we've had. What an incredible series of videos. This is going to be returning to the Magic Mesa, and at some point we need to hike up there, guys. We need to hike up here along the ancient hand-placed wall. We need to walk along the ridge and look for petroglyphs and go up there and meet the shaman or the medicine wheel at the top. See what's up there. Are we invited? Can I come up there and see what's going on? If so, can you appear on the side of the mesa as a glowing light and let me know?
comet thing in the sky is beautiful. Do you mind if I come up there? You old mountain, can I climb up your back? Oh. If I come up there, can you show me something cool? Oh, yes! You see that glow at the top? Right there? Whoa! Up there? You want me to go up there to the top? Yes? Are you the spirit of the shaman moving around? Does your ancestral memory inhabit this canyon, sir? You live within the electromagnetic field, the longitudinal waveform of the mountain, where the transverse signal comes down from the cosmos and your soul lives on right there at the top of the mountain. I swear it looks like a glowing light moving across the top. Look at that. Right along the ridge, it kind of looks like a glowing light just flowing back and forth. Look at that. Maybe not.
I decided to go ahead and replay this clip again. So this is a copy and a repeat of what we just saw, but now it is sped up 400 times speed, and you get a much better sense of the lights on the mesa. Now I have zoomed in just a little bit and cropped the image in so that you can see the activity, especially up on the top of the ridge of the mesa. So here I'm zooming in on that airplane flying by the comet, which is definitely a comet up there in the sky. And then just keep an eye on the ridge on the top of the magic mesa there. You see the lights. There's the phenomena. It looks like a phantom vapor, like a ghost vapor, almost like, you know, when you, if you were to pour rubbing alcohol like into a container and then light it, and there's that like effervescent vapor looking flame. It's almost like that. It looks like a glowing white, almost a golden colored aura, like the northern lights or something coming down the mountain and down the hillside, or changing shapes and then disappearing on and off, like a fluorescent light bulb just hovering above the surface of the ground going up the slope of the mesa. So this is the part where I'm basically talking, trying to meditate to clear my mind to see, and there was like a wave of light that went across the top. This is where I'm talking about. We still need to go up to the top of the mesa. There's a medicine wheel on top, and there's a mound up there, and the legends that the shaman lives up there. And then I'm just openly on camera while filming, asking if we have permission to go to the top of the mesa. And now with the high speed, you can really see the light at the top of the ridge right across the rocks light up and glow and move right across the ridge. It's very strange. And then you see the triangle. And there you go.
I'll take that as a yes. Can I come up there and enjoy in the bliss, the happiness of whatever's going on up there? If you can teach me something. I swear the whole top of the mesa is just like glowing like a moving light moving around a little bit. Wow, what a night. We got another 13-minute long clip here uncut. Some kind of a crazy comet in the sky and beautiful lights on the side of the mountain. Right when I'm talking to it, it looks like it's like dancing around right across the top of the ridge where I'm supposed to go. Like, how do you explain this stuff? Are you real? Are you really there? Everybody really wants to know. I'll ask again with my mind. What an interesting night. This comet looking thing, it does look like it's gotten lower along the horizon line. And as far as the lights on the mesa, it's been a little bit quiet. Oh, and then right as I say that, we see this serpent line flash across the middle. It's so counterintuitive. This is why in a lot of the reports it's reported as like a trickster. I say I haven't seen the lights on the mesa in a while, and then somehow there's like a echo, a response to that that's like, oh yeah, and reveals itself. Almost like when you're ready to turn away, you drop your trying so hard. But it appears in totally different ways, like a ball of light, a line of light. It's like a wave serpent, multiple layers, 2, 3 different holographic layers overlapping and flowing down. Fingers of light coming out of the ground, just flashes of light, like literally flying across the sky, like something flying up the valley really fast. Then we've got this comet thing in the air, like up in space. Like, what is going on? And I'm parked right where that guy was found. Boy, it would be cool to see that serpent line again, the way that it just goes across the center line of the mesa is unusual. It makes no sense for it to be any kind of vehicle headlights when it does that. It's like a straight line going across, and sometimes there's a ball in the middle. I think we need to sit down after dark, down by the medicine wheel, up by the different shapes of squares and triangles of the petroglyphs, and watch. And like I said, we need to go on top of the mesa. Even when I mentioned going on top of the mesa and hiking up there, it was like the whole top of the ridge line right across up there glowed. It's like it glows and lights up and moves around. Like Dan Winter says, we got to get coherence. Longitudinal coherence with consciousness in the valley and the node of ancestral memory that lives here. Align our intentions, our attitude, our heart, our soul, and everything with the reasons why we're here. And when we do that, we dip into the ancestral memory and it reveals itself to us. When we get that coherence, it's like two frequencies on the golden ratio connect across space-time and there is no gap. It doesn't matter from the past to the future or any distance. Feeling thrilled and excited. That's why a lot of times when the phenomena appears in the videos, you guys hear me start laughing really hard. It's not because I'm trying to act like a fool. It's because that's the vibe. Yeah, see the top of the Mesa glow? That's the vibe I want to give off. It's like it echoes and resonates back. You give out that positive energy and it's like you get that coherence, you get that echo, you get the response where the universe kind of laughs back through the void. Whoever's listening on the other side laughs along with you, and then the mountain glows or something. I don't know how it works, but it does. That comet's definitely much lower in the sky. That's part of why I kept filming. It seems like the Earth rotation, whatever that is, comet or mothership. Okay, Magic Mesa. I am cold and tired. We're going to come back again in the daytime. Explore your mysteries. See if there's some kind of a cave or chamber, Holy of Holies, and see if there's something on top of your back up there. See that flash in the sky right there? I don't know what that was. Just a bright flash above the mesa. Just like a ball of light appeared. The comet's much lower. Very cool. Okay, we will be back. We'll take that as a lovely goodbye. Beautiful. Just like totally the ridge of the rocks, like a piezoelectric glow. You guys all saw that. Just the layer of the mountain glowing up, like so beautiful right across the top there. Okay, we will be back. But we all saw it together, right? Well, whatever ancestral energy and spirit is embedded into the valley, into the node of the ELF spectrum here, it's beautiful, it's responsive. I love coming here. It feels like coming home. Yep, we have a lot more to do, and we'll be back. We will come and explore this place. We'll see what else is going on. Maybe it will just open like a doorway for us here. That plane flying over. Was that a plane? What was that? Yeah, it is an airplane. I can see the mesa still glowing. Shooting star just came down from above. Did you see it right above there? We'll watch it back in slow motion and see right now if it made any 90-degree turns. Wow, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't leave. It feels like it's just getting going, eh? Look at the square appearing on the mesa. Wow. Part of it is I keep talking like I'm gonna leave, and then it's like, no, don't go. And it lights up. Look at it. Look at it glowing. It is like a wave of plasma coming down. I just got another low battery. It's still glowing. The front of the mesa is all lit up. And then you're going to watch, it'll just turn off. It'll just turn off like a light. The whole bottom is like a wave. Glowing, the whole mesa's glowing. I have a low battery warning on my phone. That's not headlights, people. That's the mountain itself. The mesa itself is responding. It is luminescent. Another flash in the sky above to the left. That comet is about to go below the horizon now. And I'm going to have to switch batteries if we're going to stay here longer. See that wave, that ripple of light? It is like we are embedded down in a waveform in some kind of a frequency. We're sitting in the middle of it and we're seeing through the side of it horizontally. See that? It's like we're in the middle, like it's passing through from one side of the canyon to the other, and we're in the cross section of some kind of a magical zone. Okay, I gotta hurry and switch batteries out because my camera battery's gonna die again. Here we go. Now the wind is extremely calm. Just little gusts of wind blowing around. You can see that comet, the tail has now fallen below the horizon line. Wow, I have just gotten an incredible amount of Magic Mesa footage here tonight. Just here all by myself. I mean, up on the ridge, freezing to death. I turning around, there's just no cars. It feels like, oh, there was a wave of light just went across the mesa. It's like it's pulsating. It oftentimes feels like whatever is happening is just coming out of the ground. It's phasing through the mesa itself. And somehow the mesa presents a cross-section of the waveform of the electromagnetic field coming through longitudinally through this region. Yeah, it's totally fascinating. Should I be nervous to climb on top of that mesa? I'm going to have to take my radiation sensor, my EMF sensors and stuff, and make sure it's safe. Okay, we filmed a lot of amazing stuff here at the Mesa tonight. It has flashed and shown us multiple varieties from serpent lines, squares, triangles, big flowing rectangles, balls of light flashing across the valley. All kinds of interesting stuff. This comet coming down from the sky. still like almost like communication. When I start joking about it, like asking it to appear like a doorway, it's like it does. Subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you're supporting this research, not only here on YouTube, but go join the Patreon page and get the inner circle access, get on-screen credit, get exclusive videos where we talk about the meditations, the gateway protocol, a lot of the methodology, and a lot of cool stuff you don't get to see anywhere else. Plus, you get to see all of this footage usually a couple of weeks ahead of everybody else.
If you go to a place called a sacred site where magnetic lines cross strongly and you have visions, which the Aboriginal would call songline or dreaming track. So at a sacred site, the reason you have better dreams and better vision and better telepathy, the magnetic line cross created compression. It's well known that the Earth grid magnetic lines cross just like this. This is the grid of sacred sites where magnetic lines cross, yes? Like, for example, where the pyramids and sacred sites are located. They all fit this nest. So actually, this is a map of the major magnetic lines of Earth, for sure. Well known, actually, it's well proven. The pyramid sites, for example. So it has been measured many times that at these sites, telepathy is far more possible. And this was the work of Konstantin Korotkov and Kozyrev from Russia. And it's also been measured that at these sites, nuclear critical mass is reduced. Compression at these sacred sites is called a longitudinal node, because the longitudinal waves bounce in and out of compression at the symmetrical fractal nodes, exchanging inertia between transverse and longitudinal. So the longitudinal wave, you can't feel it unless you get to the center of compression, and then you can do what's called embed in the array, which is, that's why if you lie at a sacred site and close your eyes, suddenly you can see the whole hologram for miles around from the inside. You're inhabiting the array. It's why the Aboriginals called it dreaming track songline. If you have access to sacred sites or where magnetic lines cross, you can, it's called, you can use the DNA radio.
This is my tradition and my culture because this is what my grandfather was, great-great-grandfather was doing before me. And I'm just going to pick up where he left off because he ran the Chinook trade network. People don't know that the trade network with the Chinooks, they think it's just that little area with the Columbia River. No, it goes all the way up into Montana. It goes all the way up to Skinwalker Ranch. That Skinwalker Ranch on the top is our polygonal floor. That's our trade. And on the top, you go to the Mesa, there's a polygonal floor up there. That's our marker from the 39th latitude to the 49th latitude. And then below that, there's another one from 39 to the 29th latitude, which is the Trincheras people. They use Trincheras as their trade boundary markers. Then from 29 to 19, those are the pyramid people. They use pyramids as their trade markers, so they can mark their trade areas. And then you go from 19 all the way down to 9. They used, check this out, Olmec stone heads were their trade barrier markers so they could do trade. And then from 9 to the equator, Costa Rican stone spears were the trade markers. But nobody wants to believe the Indian.
And it all lines up into this whole thing. And now you've been able to basically start to piece it together and trace all of these routes together, and they go places where there's undiscovered things, like you said, these almost lost cities and serpent mounds and maybe pyramids and all kinds of things.
Just to prove to you how exact this thing, I'm going to go to not an unknown place, but a remote place that people say they can't locate even in modern times. 3.25 times 8.5 equals 27.625 south. The exact latitude for Easter Island, out in the middle of nowhere. That's how exact this thing is.
So the equations that he's talking about right now, the information that he's pulled out of the Zia symbol, and
the Maya.
and has come up with the conversion equation between the current world system that uses 12, the 12 base system, and the indigenous paradigm, which uses a 13 base system. So when you look at our calendar system, it's based on 13 and 20.
I'm not embarrassed to show what I know. 13 times 2. Oh.
And what Roger did here was he put it into English, put the glyphs, but he put the glyphs into English so it'd be easier to use.
And color-coded it for the directions.
Right, and color-coded it. So there's 13 columns. So there's 20 days, and there's 30 columns. So 20 days times 13 is 260 days. So that's the 260-day calendar.
And it's a base number, that 260 with the 13, because when you see that the base, the common denominator number is 13 on all of these, you'll see why. 13 times 9 is 117, which is the orbit of Mercury. 13 times 45 is 585, which is the orbit of Venus. 13 times 28 is 364, the orbit of Earth. 13 times 60 is 780, the orbit of Mars. And you can do that all the way to Pluto and 2 objects beyond, with all the planets using them.
So you basically map out what...
It's your planetary almanac.
You can use it to map out the year count or the planets. Earth is the one that's 364. So this was just my template for we want to get more information to people. So I just put this website together kind of as a prototype for a website that we want to definitely put on. And this is the study that I think of the Aztec calendar stone with the whole compass map, because that ties the Aztec calendar stone to Navajos, to the Hawaiian star compass, to different tribes of Americas, 260-day calendar, and Pleiades, and Venus. So that 52-year cycle that happens, that's because Pleiades, there's like I want to say a conjunction that happens during that time with Pleiades, Venus. So Pleiades rises as Venus sets as the evening star, and then at the end of those 52 years and 13 days. And then when the sun rises, Venus rises as the morning star. And so during the night when Pleiades is directly overhead at midnight, that's when the new 52-year count cycles restarts, and that's for the Aztec calendar. And Roger has correlated to the Mayan Baktun as well. Cool. There you go. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, this is the overlay of the Hawaiian star compass, overlaid with the Zia symbol, as well as an overlay of the same numbers that are on the Aztec calendar stone. They all think that these three items are separate when they're really all based on the same concept, but they just don't know that yet. And when I overlaid everything, that's when I found out that they really are all the same thing.